In Matthew chapter 6, we find some teachings of Jesus, and of the ones that we should do, Jesus speaks of those in a manner which obviously indicates that these are routine disciplines for Christians. Jesus is preaching. He's preaching what's called the Sermon on the Mount. So he goes up on a mountain, and he's preaching to hundreds, thousands of disciples. And this is one of the most famous sermons in history, because this sermon, it goes several chapters in the Bible, but it goes through all the major subjects of life that you and I go through. And so the Sermon on the Mount is a wonderful sermon. If you're new and you're going to learn about what it means to be a Christian and a new believer, the Sermon on the Mount is a good place for you to start reading. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 2, he says, when you give, and he talks about that. And in that same chapter, verse 5, he talks about when you pray. And then in verse 16, he talks about when you fast. Now, I want you to notice something in everything that's up there. Notice he didn't say if you give or if you pray. He says what? When. In other words, Jesus is speaking to us as if though every believer that this is a normal discipline that we should do. And that's a good place for the church to say amen. That this is a normal discipline. He didn't say, now, if you happen to have some time, you can pray. Or if you're off and you got some PTO, you can pray. No, he says, when you do this, because for a believer, this is a normal discipline for every believer. If you're a believer here, this is a normal discipline. When you give, when you pray, and when you fast. I want you to also take note that the three things that he mentioned are the hardest things for us to do. Yes. Woo. The three things that he mentioned. When was the last time you fasted? Don't answer. See? Giving, praying, and fasting are the three things that are the hardest for us to do. And Jesus speaks to us as if though this should be a normality in every believer's life.